So yeah, we're looking at a very plain landscape on Mars, but in the center of it, there's something that pops out that's got geometry and symmetry to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sort of a square structure.
Mm-hmm.
This is also in Elysium Planitia, close to the huge pyramid. And if you take a closer look, you can see what appears to be an outer wall, about 30 meters by 30 meters in size.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a square. And inside it is a funny circular structure. Now, that would look sort of geological to you. But then if you compare it to a similar structure that we find in Peru, it's called the Chankillo structure. It's like a fort. It's also got a roughly square outer wall, and then two strange circular structures inside.
Mm.
So there is another sort of direct comparison.
Yeah, they look very similar.
Yes, the one on Earth seems to have two outer walls,
Yeah.
but the one on Mars is so highly eroded and partially covered in sand, you can barely make out there might be a second wall on the inside.
Mm. And what do you think the one on Earth was used for, and what was life like in the structure?
I don't have that information at hand, Anand, but yeah, that Peru is littered with these strange ruins and structures
Yeah.
that we find on Mars. It's like a duplicate of
Yeah.
sorts. A lot of the stuff on Mars looks Incan, Mayan, but also it has a slightly Egyptian twist to it.
Right.
But I'd say it's more related to stuff we find in South America.
Mm.
I don't know what the purpose of this one on Earth is for, but it's also very old.
Yeah, looks very, very ancient.
It's worthy of further study. I just don't have those facts and history at hand to talk about.
Mm. Yeah, there may have been some similarity in the evolution of these beings and their knowledge and their intelligence. Um, uh, it's almost like, it's very hard to find a linear progress of evolution on two different planets. You can't go on a um, alien um, planet and look at history and assume that history has evolved similar to how it has evolved on Earth. They may have, they will come over here and think that we are crazy, that we shoot rocket into space and burn all these fuels, or they might find it
Yes,
fascinating because they have different materials to deal with, and they may have discovered things much more earlier in their evolution, right? But over here, we
yes,
find this of the ancient humans on Earth who have built these structures that we just looked at in Peru to the structures in Mars are strikingly similar in terms of their intelligence, their ability to create pyramids on Mars and then create pyramids on Earth, right? And that just can't be a coincidence. There must have something going on that's much more connected between Earth and Mars for us to be able to find these structures, one thing, and then to be able to see them being, done on Earth. So I think that is a very fascinating concept and information that needs to be further explored. And when we do get to Mars, I hope that we are going to these destinations that we have marked and founded and flagged, and they are studied to see what we can find. There might be mummies, caves. There might be drawings on walls. There might be a lot of information that we would want to know about.
Yes, and perhaps even ancient technology. There's a huge race to get to Mars now, and I think these guys are after something that's there. I know Elon says he'd like to make humans a multi-planetary species because Earth can just cease to exist and there goes humanity. But I think also they might be after some relics. But we don't know. I mean, these are secret societies that we're not privy to. So,
Yeah.
this Chankillo structure might have been a defensive structure. Why else would it have two outer walls? It looks very militaristic. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it was, eh? And then
Yeah, maybe.
all over Mars, you find these strange depressions in the surface. They don't look like circular depressions a meteorite would make, all those hexagonal depressions that electrical discharge might make. I don't know if Brian's spoken to you about that, the Electric Universe or the Thunderbolts project, where they have checked using electric discharge or plasma discharge. They can burn like weird patterns in the ground, like six-sided circular depressions, and then that huge scar on the side of Mars that spans the width of the United States. That's how large it is. They've replicated those patterns of Valles Marineris in a lab as well. So this doesn't look like a typical discharge either. This thing's got right angles to it. It's sort of hollowed out in the center. It looks like a foundation of a very ancient building that's in a shape of a cross. And it's approximately 50 meters wide.